Soon as I wake up, keep an eye out for the snakes, yeah. Cause I don't need no fraud. I don't need no drama when you call. I don't need no lies. Pick a side. I took the prize. And if that
Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. Now, obviously, who got the moves? People had moves all weekend, all Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for the NFL Draft. Now, the Bills fired their GM after the draft. John Lynch shows that he knows football, but I'd like to talk about the Bears first. They traded up to get Mitch Trubisky, who only started 13 games for North Carolina. Now, if you could only start 13 games for North Carolina, why am I moving up, trading picks to take you second overall? There's a reason maybe this guy was behind Marquise Williams. Why do we overthink this stuff, NFL GMs? Maybe you guys should hire me to do some of that analytical thinking for you and picking who could actually come in and make a difference right away. So you mean to tell me this guy couldn't start all those years for North Carolina, but for some reason he's supposed to magically come into the NFL and play against better competition and excel at the highest level, the pinnacle of professional football, the National Football League? I don't buy that, Chicago. I think that pick was more so just a prognostication of they think that he might be great, but people think people might be good. We thought Colt McCoy was going to be all right after he got hurt after that national championship game against Alabama. We thought Brandon Weeden would be good for the Browns. Now, yeah, they made some mistakes, the Browns have, and you guys are not the Browns organization, but coming off of Cutler, I think that's a risky move to trade up to the second pick to take a guy who's only started 13 games. And that's all I have to say about that. As Forrest Gump would say, 49ers, they prove they have a real GM. They don't have some guy who doesn't know what he's doing. This GM is running on diesel fuel. When you don't know, play it safe. What does John Lynch do? He goes out, sticks to what he knows. He played defense, strong safety, free safety. He was the guy who was the enforcer in the back end. So what do you do, John Lynch? You go and draft a guy named Solomon Thomas, 3rd overall, who is actually somebody that John Lynch took a class with when he went back to take classes at Stanford back in 2014. They were actually in class together, worked together on a project. So that's a neat story. Why not take the homie? Get the homie. That's what they did. They pick up Solomon Thomas from Stanford. John Lynch did go to Stanford. Now, Reuben Foster, this man fell off like Trinidad James. I mean, falling down to the 31st pick. And for John Lynch to say, you know what? I know defense. I want this Reuben Foster guy too. John Lynch, you may have earned yourself a job there in San Francisco for quite some time, because this defense that you just put together with Solomon Thomas and a young guy like Reuben Foster, who could be the next Patrick Willis or be the next Ray Lewis, number 52. I'm curious to see what number he's going to wear, because I would assume that 52 for the 49ers at some point will be retired. So you can't just drop my man Reuben Foster in that, but he will play like a 52. I wore number 52. Reuben Foster, I know you'll ball out. Forget the diluted sample. Forget what they're saying about this guy. This guy, Reuben Foster, cares about football to a point to where I don't think he'll find himself in that much trouble, because he's a guy, had a kid very young in high school. So when you come from his demographic background, you're going to ball out and want to excel. And when you have his talent, and not the talent of a guy who just can't do it or doesn't care, somebody with his talent, with his passion, I don't care about him being small. I don't care about him being 229 or 226 or whatever. He'll knock you out at 215. I saw him do it in high school in the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game. So great job, John Lynch. Got to give him a kudos. Houston, they are now a problem. They got Deshaun Watson, defense and a difference maker. You got J.J. Watt. Also, you've got Jadeveon Clowney. You've got all these people, Jonathan Joseph on the defensive end. And then you added Deshaun Watson to the offense. Now, we saw the anemic offense that they had to put on the field last year with Brock Osweiler. He ain't no Bossweiler. That's why he's not there now. That's why he's with the Browns. But you grab Deshaun Watson, a guy who makes magic on a football field. He makes people better. I remember Mike Williams coming out and saying that in the national championship game prior to the one that they just won, he was saying in the huddle, hey, guys, he was telling people, hey, just be calm. We can do this. This is something that we've done before. We've been in these situations. Everything's good. Deshaun Watson is a cool, calm, collected customer. So you take a guy like that who's been a leader at a big-time program like Clemson and been to multiple Heisman Trophy presentations, should have won one, and also played in multiple national championships. He's not going to be afraid of some little low wild card AFC playoff game. So Deshaun Watson, ball out, man. I look forward to seeing you play. Why didn't Kansas City take Deshaun Watson? He's perfect for the offense you guys run, Andy Reid, with Tyreek Hill and Jeremy Maclin, Alex Smith. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's okay, but aren't you going to look towards the future? So you take Patrick Mahomes over Deshaun Watson, who's the more mobile quarterback, who has better skill? I mean, who is doing the talent assessment for these teams? That's a question I'll continue to ask that I still don't know the answer to. But Kansas City, this may come to bite you for quite some time. Do you remember those teams that didn't maybe want Dan Marino or John Elway? And now we see all these 30 for 30s about, the decisions we should have made. You guys may have just made that decision, Kansas City. So good luck with this Mahomes guy. Hope he turns out all right. I'm not saying he's bad. He can throw the ball far. But what did he win? Deshaun Watson's a winner. Redskins get Jonathan Allen. They needed a rusher. Brian Orakpo's never worked out. He stayed hurt. That's a no-good product. And then the Falcons, they got Takaris McKinley. Brandon, you asked me about this. Takaris McKinley, I like him. It adds speed to that Atlanta defense, which is already fast. I think Dan Quinn's looking to shore up that defense and have people that he can send in kind of a platoon fashion, because you've already got the Vic Beasleys, the Deion Joneses. Atlanta has plenty of pieces, but after that Super Bowl, we got to draft something else. So Takaris McKinley from UCLA, that's a good pickup. He's an athletic defensive end who can also play linebacker. So I look forward to seeing how they use him in that Atlanta system. But Brandon, to answer your question, Falcons pick, it's a safe, good pick. Not outstanding, but a safe, good pick. It's a lot of the picks the Packers made. Safe, good picks. Don't let me get started on them. Vikings, they had no choice but to get Dalvin Cook. No choice. After you lose Adrian Peterson, what do you do to shore up the run game? You get a guy who, he's from Florida, hangs out with a certain crowd, but you bring him all the way up to Minnesota. What's he going to do? Are those boys, the homies, going to fly from Florida to hang out with him? I don't think so. Dalvin Cook's a first-round talent. Should have gone in the first round, but the Vikings, they got him for that second-round value. So I look forward to seeing what he does in that offense. And if Teddy Bridgewater comes back this year or next year, I saw they didn't pick up his fifth-year option, but I don't know. That was an unfortunate situation for Mr. Bridgewater, but we'll see what the Vikings do. Look forward to seeing how everything turns out in Minnesota. Now, the winners of the draft, Cleveland Browns. They rejuvenated the pound. Myles Garrett, number one pick. You got to pick a defensive guy up. The quarterbacks haven't worked out in the first round for the Browns over the past few years. Jabril Peppers, a versatile guy, can play all over, play 15 different positions for Michigan. Outstanding first-round pick. Now, the late Jim. Why do we take a quarterback early when we can just wait and get a guy like DeShone Kizer, who almost beat Deshaun Watson in the rain 2 years ago in Death Valley? Don't question the Browns management. I actually think they did a fine job, and I have to apologize humbly for talking about this team and saying, the Browns will mess it up again. The Browns didn't mess it up. They had a solid draft, and that's what they needed, was to have a solid draft. So I don't knock them for getting a quarterback late. DeShone Kizer, we'll see how he turns out. Forces the ball and throws some picks sometimes, but he can definitely play, okay? And I haven't forgot about the phenomenal performances that he has had. NBA-wise, second round starts, but Lob City's dead. Put an X on it. Put the skull emojis. Chris Paul could not play well in Game 7. Gordon Hayward's a baller. We all know that now. The Clippers lost Game 7. And I think, Steve Ballmer, it is time. I've said it time and time again. Blow this team up with some nitrogen, titanium, fluid, or whatever. Put it all together, mix it up. Whatever chemicals you can devise to put together a bomb to explode this operation that you guys have running in the Staples Center. Please do, because this Clippers team, it's no deal. Get rid of Blake. Send him to the Magic if you have to. Chris Paul, do something. But this is not working. Second round treadmill. That's what you always talk about on First Take, Max. The Celtics are taking the drama to John Wall's Wizards. 19 three-point field goals for Boston, 10 for Washington. Comparable in a sense. However, the Celtics, they want this more. They didn't forget about that all-black game. They did not forget about that when you showed up like that, John Wall and the boys. Now, will Markieff Morris be healthy? If he's not healthy, I give the edge definitely to the Celtics, because Jay Crowder, he's too big. And then you got Marcus Smart. Stop taking yourself out of the game. Ball out. Coach will take you out if you're not good at it, if you're not doing the job and not getting it done. The Raptors, have no handle on the Cavs. They lose last night, game one, 116-105. LeBron, he's grabbing beers on y'all. LeBron is stopping, grabbing the Brewski, the Miller Lite, and drinking beers on you Raptors. Show some heart. If a guy drinks a beer on me or fakes drinking a beer, whatever he did in a game, I'm going to take that personally. It's a personal assault against my NBA talent. You going to drink a beer on me, LeBron? That's how you want to do me? Like I'm a bum? Like you drinking brewskis on me while I'm on this court? So, Toronto, I hope you guys do something. Dante Jones, I love it, but I don't think he wants to work for free. Stop getting technical fouls. You just got fined $6,000. Only made 9 bands. LeBron's paying it for you. Then you're going to give you a check away because you want to talk a little yip-yap? Come on, man. Chill out, Dante Jones. Watch your money, big dog. Sheesh. The Rockets beat the Spurs. Hit them with that fire, as 21 Savage would say. 126-99, 22 threes from deep. I mean, the beard, he's showing that in his restaurant, anything goes. He serves you whatever, whether it's an and one, whether it's a 3-point field goal and then one, whether it's a assist and dime, a drip and drop, range drop, whatever he does, the beard knows where to get the ball. James Harden, he looks like an MVP. He might win the MVP just because, I mean, he's done a lot this year. I think Russell Westbrook should get it, but James Harden, he's playing out of his mind. Golden State, they're worried about the nightlife. Golden State, come on, guys. You can't be worried about the nightlife when you got to go and play Utah. It's not about LA City and LA restaurants. It's about winning the playoffs, winning and getting to the finals. Why are you guys, especially Matt Barnes, this shows why you've hopped around from teams for your entire career. I mean, why are you worried about a nightlife when you're on a team that should have won 2 back-to-back championships but lost to LeBron because they had a guy that got suspended for something stupid? They should not be worried about no nightlife. Yeah, I understand that you guys want to have a little fun because when you go in the club, they know who you are. But come on, guys, really? A nightlife? Give me a break. MLB-wise, Noah Syndergaard, sit down, bro. The Mets pitchers can't stay healthy for some reason. They can't. There's leprosy going around that clubhouse. Somebody's got to tell this guy to go get an MRI when it's time to get one. That's why he has the lat tear now. The Mets, they rely on the home run too much. Get some hitters in there. Why do you think Boston has been good all these years? They have the Pedroias. They have the Mookie Betts, but they've also got the Jackie Bradleys. They've had the Big Poppies. Come on. New York, you got to do better because you're missing your window. Mismanagement by this organization, and I don't like it. NHL-wise, Caps tied the series against the Penguins 2-1 in overtime, but Crosby left with a head injury. Now, this worries me because it's a red alert for all those concussion issues he's had in the past that's kept him out for extended periods of time as well as multiple seasons. So, Cross, I hope you can come back, but this worries me because you've had issues with this. Next show, make sure you tune in for Zono's Kentucky Derby pick. And Wednesday, I will have some special footage for you. Keep up on the Instagram at Zono Sports. I'll be right at the Dawn at the Downs. I'll be right backside. I'm right there at the Kentucky Derby, right here in the back with Bob Baffert, with Pritchard, everybody. You name it. I'm out here. So make sure you tune in to Zono Sports, where you know Zonos.